This man just got married, and he got married to this wonderful, wonderful lady. And she was so nice, so wonderful, loving, and she came from a very, very good family. And so this man was, he was not very rich. And so, but she was very, very wealthy. And so they lived in a small apartment because, they were both working, they were both trying to make ends meet. And they lived in a small apartment. And he always asked her, your family is very wealthy and very well to do, and um, maybe they can help us. And she said, yes, they are wealthy, they are well to do, but that's my family's money. Now, we've both come together, we've both married each other. Let's also try and do things our own way. And then only we'll really learn. And so he said, okay, okay. And he listened to her. She was very wise. And so one time her father called her husband, and her husband was an architect. See, he used to build houses. And so the father said, my son, he used to call him son, I want you to build something for me. I want to get another house. So deep inside, the son-in-law was like, again, another house. I mean, how much is this father-in-law of mine going to expand? And so he said, son, I want you to build a house, and I want you to think about the best design possible. I want it to be a really, really great, wonderful house, top quality, top color, materials, and I want it to be bright and light. And I've purchased it in a certain area where there's lots of greenery and beauty. And I want you to build this house with your everything. And you budget it and you tell me how much it is, and I will pay you. So the son-in-law, started to draw up a house. And he drew up a really, really beautiful house and constructed very nicely, with nice rooms and kitchen and hall and everything. And with, top everything. His son drew it and presented it to the father-in-law. The father-in-law said, this is wonderful, beautiful. Do you like it? Do you think it's good quality? And the son-in-law said, yeah, I think it's good. I think we should do it. The father-in-law said, is it stable? It's going to last. He said, yes, it'll last. So the father said, build it. And so the son-in-law started the contract, hired people, started building it. But while he was building this property, one thought came inside of him. It said, my father-in-law is so rich. He's building all these houses. What's he doing for me and my family? And he said, maybe I'll have to take a cut from this place. So a little bit of his heart changed, and he started buying inferior materials. The materials that looked like they were really good quality, but not, like those plastic vinyls and things like that. He started buying these materials that were not really good quality, but he charged his father-in-law for the amount of good quality. So he took that amount, whatever that cut was, that extra was, he took it for him. So he didn't change the price with his father-in-law, but what he did was he reduced the cost and he started buying cheapy stuff. But cheap stuff that looked good but didn't last long. And so with this cheap stuff, he built this house. He built this house with this cheap stuff. It looked good, but the quality wasn't great. But only someone who was really, really knowledgeable could tell. And so finally, after 2 years, the house was built, and he presented it to his father-in-law. He said, this is the house. And the father-in-law looked at everything. It looked so beautiful, so wonderful. And he said, I'm so grateful to you. And there's something I want to tell you, and I want to tell you and my daughter. So the father-in-law sat, the son-in-law and his daughter. He said, I'm so touched by this work that you have done. And I wanted to give you a house. I wanted to give you a house, but I wanted it to be the way you wanted it. And this is your design. Therefore, he took the key. He said, this is your house. He said, I hope that you will always remain safe and happy and healthy in this home. And with that, the father left. Now, at that time, the son-in-law was just crushed. Just crushed. He got his dream house, but not his dream quality. And it was all because of his selfishness. When we do good for others, they will also do good for us. Why do we doubt? This doubt makes us pout. So don't doubt the goodness of the good. There you go.